Welcome back to the news at 10. It's not a time to fret or be afraid, but a period to be vigilant and improve on personal hygiene, such as regular hand washing. This advice is coming from public health practitioners as the Ebola viral disease takes its toll on Sierra Leone, Guinea, and some other countries in West Africa. On our Focus on Health tonight, our correspondent Yomi Otaigbe reports on preventive measures and what to look out for.
In March 2014, a rapidly evolving outbreak of Ebola viral disease started in forested areas of southeastern Guinea, a West African country. Confirmed and reported cases of the viral infection have been recorded in Liberia, Mali, and Sierra Leone. But Sierra Leone is the hotbed now. A quick look at the figures from the World Health Organization.
For Ebola in Sierra Leone, the last few days, we have a total reported of 7 confirmed cases and 9 suspect cases. All of them are reported in the Kouindou area district, which is in the Kailaoun prefecture, which is bordering Guinea and notably bordering Gektedou foci of Ebola in Guinea.
With previous cases, the country now has a total of 14 confirmed and 36 suspected EVD cases, including 6 deaths. On the other hand, Guinea's 10 new cases bring the country's total to 291, including 193 fatal cases. Now the risk is getting closer to Nigeria.
According to the Federal Ministry of Health, there is no recorded case of Ebola virus, no confirmed case. We need to plan active sensitization of health workers in the public and the private health facilities, providing for them the fact sheets, and even government facilities. We need to get designated facilities where if you have suspected cases where they can be taken to, where the laboratory investigations can be done. And because as a matter of fact, there is no known specific treatment for Ebola virus, but what we can do is supportive therapy.
The drivers of the infection are fruit bats, which are considered to be the natural host of the Ebola virus. The virus is transmitted when a person comes in contact with the blood or body fluids of an animal or person who is infected. The symptoms of the Ebola viral disease show up 2 to 21 days after the infection.
Patient might, present with headache, with pain, with fever. But fever actually is one of the early symptoms of this particular disease. They might go on to start passing bloody stools or having what we call hemorrhagic manifestation. They might have bleeding from different openings within the system, within the body, like the nose, like the rectum, like bleeding into the skin, bleeding into the gum. Those are, manifestations that you have.
Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Health has said all port health posts and border medical centers have been put on high alert to screen travelers from countries with confirmed Ebola hemorrhagic fever occurrences.
This outbreak in West Africa is primarily transmitted through human-to-human transmission, and this is why it should be relatively easy to stop if the population is with us and understand that unsafe burial and unsafe care at home will help the outbreak to continue to spread. And if you want to stop the outbreak, we should develop a safe behavior.
Just to add that there is no vaccine or cure for Ebola viral disease, do all you can to protect yourself. Hand washing with soap and water, especially after handling animals, and improved personal hygiene would help. If you or anyone around you have a fever that seems to defy medical treatment at this time, report to the nearest health facility. Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
For his excellent leadership qualities and outstanding pioneering capacity in corporate Nigeria, Otumba Olasubumi Balogun has been honored by the Center for Values in Leadership. The founder of First City Merchant Bank, who recently turned 80, came under the spotlight at the 11th Tribute Colloquium of the CVL in Lagos recently, where he revealed some of the secrets of his success story.
Another gathering of leaders in the corporate world, this time in honor of one of their own, the founder of First City Monument Bank, FCMB, Otumba Olasubumi Balogun, as he turns 80. The occasion also provided them the opportunity to share ideas on how to raise capital for small and medium-scale financial institutions in Nigeria. And time to hear from the horse's mouth as the octogenarian shares his inspiring story.
It is something you are either born with or you develop it, but it is perseverance and readiness to face challenges and never believing in failure. That's all that the content. It's not a problem. It's a challenge that any stout-hearted person should be ready to face. Don't believe that anything is difficult. Don't believe that something is novel, you can't do it. Don't believe that something can't be done. Have faith in yourself, in your ability and your God, and it will happen.
Let's find out from the founder of the CVL, Professor Patu Tommy, why he finds the choice of Otumba Olasubumi Balogun exemplary enough.
It is synthesizing certain leadership qualities in people who have attained a certain age and accomplished during the course of their careers, and taking an aspect of it and making that aspect a subject of deep conversation, of discussion that will enable others learn so that we can develop leadership in people.
From all that is seen here, it appears the CVL could not have made a better choice for this edition of its leadership series.
Hello and welcome to Business News. I am Adeshewa Josh. The new CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, is expected to resume work on Tuesday, June the 3rd, as the tenure of his predecessor, Lamido Sanusi, officially comes to an end on Monday, June the 2nd. Mr. Emefiele was confirmed by the Senate after the suspension of the former governor of the CBN. He was the group managing director of Zenith Bank PLC, a position he held since August 2010. Until then, he was the deputy managing director of the bank, having been appointed into that position in 2001. Nigerian foreign exchange reserves have declined by 2.62% month-on-month to $37.14 billion as of May the 27th, from $38.14 billion a month earlier. Data from the central bank shows that Nigeria's foreign reserves have gone down by 23.28% from the $48.41 billion level it was a year ago. Now, the federal government plans to issue 137.97 billion naira worth of treasury bills on June the 4th as it continues to bid to curb speculations on the local currency. The maturity of the bill ranges from 3 months to 1 year, and traders say liquidity is very tight in the banking system now because of a massive mopping up exercise by the central bank during the week. Investors are also expecting that to demand higher yields at the next treasury bill auction. According to dealers, yields could rise by as much as 40 basis points across the curve at the auction. The interbank lending rates rose this week to an average of 10.75% recorded last week. And this follows the move by the CBN to mop up liquidity and curb inflation estimates in the local currency. Traders confirmed the issuance of about 170 billion naira worth of OMO treasury bills injected to absorb excess cash in the banking system. The cash balance that lenders hold at the central bank fell to 348 billion naira surplus on Friday, compared with 411 billion naira last week Friday. The open buyback, however, inched up to 10.5%. Overnight placement also rose to 10.75%, while call money closed at 11%. More liquidity tightening is expected next week as traders predict that rates may rise. And that's business news this hour. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Next on the news at 10, 8-time champion Rafael Nadal on course for a 9th title at Roland Garros as he beats Leonardo Mayer in round 3. That's in sports.